coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Southwest Saskatchewan experienced hot and dry conditions throughout the summer of 2018, with only 38% of the normal amount of rain throughout the season. A weather trend which could prove to be a record-breaking year. Tobacco use is the leading cause of cancer and numerous other illnesses, and the Canadian Cancer Society continues to encourage you to choose a healthier lifestyle. And now with the changing of the seasons, autumn is a good time to consider quitting smoking. The summer of 2018 was another busy season at Saskatchewan Parks, and now that we're into September, there's still plenty to see and do at its 35 locations across the province. Thanks for joining us here today. In recent days, Southwest Saskatchewan has received some much-needed rainfall. And now Environment Canada is offering this long-term weather outlook. Southwest Saskatchewan experienced hot and dry conditions throughout the summer of 2018, with only 38% of the normal amount of rain throughout the season. A weather trend which could prove to be a record-breaking year.
It's been persistently warm right from May, probably one of the coldest Aprils on record, and we went from slush to sweat. And April and May came, and it was warmer than normal by a long shot. June, July, and August have been of the same character or personality, particularly August. The first half of August quite mild. The problem, of course, is that precipitation has been down. I mean, it's only about 38% of what you normally would get May, June, July, August, about 72 millimeters of rain. You normally should have 190. And it was just about as dry last year, almost the same amount of precipitation, but it wasn't as warm. I mean, there were only 15 days above 30, and temperatures averaged about almost 2 degrees cooler than they were last year. So the result of the fact that it didn't have as much of an effect on the crop last year that it did this year.
And now with the signs of autumn all around us, Environment Canada is offering this long-term weather outlook for the area.
We think that the fall, our forecast for late summer and into fall, is warmer and drier than normal. That is what our prospects are. Now, in terms of the winter, and I will offer you something that we're just learning now. There is an El Nino. El Nino is this warm water in the Pacific, and it generally means for Saskatchewan a milder than normal winter. It depends upon the intensity of El Nino and the size of it. We don't know that yet. But certainly there's early indications. Sort of the dice have been loaded to give you kind of maybe a milder than normal winter than you had last year. Let's face it, we're not canceling it. You're going to still have winter, but it's whether it goes on as long as it did last year and whether it's as intensely cold. We think not. We think that there will be a little bit more milder temperatures, and of course we would like to have more, good melting snow that could help to again restore some of that soil moisture that you're in so need of right now. But I think we might get my fingers crossed that sort of mid to late fall, we'll maybe get some replenishing rains to restore some optimism there with regards to next year's growing season.
The normal daytime high for this time of the year in southwest Saskatchewan is 20 degrees, with a low of 5. In an ongoing effort to help you quit smoking, the Canadian Cancer Society has launched another campaign. Tobacco use is the leading cause of cancer and numerous other illnesses, and the Canadian Cancer Society continues to encourage you to choose a healthier lifestyle. And now with the changing of the seasons, autumn is a good time to consider quitting smoking.
September is kind of like New Year's for many people, the start of a new season. Kids go back to school. People, some people take classes or, it's just really the start of the fall. Things get busy, back to normal. And we think it's also a great time for people to think about quitting smoking. And we think it's easier actually to do at this time of year than in January. You know, post-Christmas, people are feeling blue, you know, maybe eaten too much, spent too much money. And so the last thing a lot of people want to think about is quitting smoking or losing weight, quite frankly. So we're saying September is kind of like the other New Year's and a really great time to think about quitting.
And there's numerous options to help you in your journey to becoming tobacco-free. But it all starts with taking that first step.
2017 numbers, according to the Canadian Community Health Survey, found that 20% of people 12 and over in Saskatchewan are still smoking. That is really much, much too high. And we know that with the Smokers Helpline, the chances of staying smoke-free after 6 months are about 6 times higher than if you tried to do it by yourself. And so we're saying, think about calling us, going online, smokershelpline.ca, or giving our quit specialists a call. They'll help you come up with a program, give it some thought, contemplate it, write down the reasons why you should or should not quit. Calculate, if you go online, you can calculate the amount of money you would save by quitting. It's the single most important thing you can do to prevent sickness and disease. And we're here to help. And we've noticed through because of this Quit and Win contest that we've got going on our new website, we've seen a dramatic increase in registrations over the past year. That's telling us, you know, it's a good service. People are calling and it works.
More information on the risks of tobacco use and resources to help you kick the habit are all available online. The signs of autumn may be all around us, but outdoor enthusiasts still have a chance to camp at Saskatchewan's provincial parks. The summer of 2018 was another busy season at Saskatchewan Parks. And now that we're into September, there's still plenty to see and do at its 35 locations across the province.
In that it can be peaceful, there are vibrant colors throughout the parks, it's a more relaxed setting, and actually in many locations the fishing is better this time of year. So we really encourage people to consider fall camping. A little different experience. The park isn't as busy. There's sort of that nice, cool, crisp air. The colors have changed. It's just a really great time to be out in nature.
And following a lack of moisture in many areas across the province this year, park visitors are being reminded that fire bans may still be in place.
Yeah, we just want people to be aware that particularly in the Southwest, we do have some fire restrictions in place, and so they can go on our website at sasparks.com and check out that listing, and there'll also be some guidance available there about what type of gas heating devices and stuff are allowed in our parks that have fire restrictions in place.
More information on Saskatchewan's provincial parks, campsites, and reservations are all available online. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.